Our real challenges are going to be going in through the rest of this year and going into 2011. And we hope that we can help you in the process. In doing that, let me urge you to take advantage of all of the opportunities that we have identified for you. Teresa Altimus yesterday went through a whole litany of programs that are available to you to save money. And I think that's the key right now. There are some cooperative purchasing programs through U.S. communities that you should be taking advantage of and getting your supplies, getting your materials, that your school divisions should be taking advantage of as well. And if you're not, you're missing a terrific opportunity to cut some expense dollars out of your budget. So I urge you to take advantage of all of these various programs, and if you need more information on them, they're on our website. You can give me a call and we'll be glad to talk to you about them. But again, in these tight budget times, you should be taking full advantage of all of these programs that have been designed for you, including the purchasing programs, including the finance programs through the VACo VML finance program that certainly are saving those counties that are taking advantage of those programs, saving them lots of dollars. You know, just as an example, Fairfax County, which you would think would be doing their own thing, is saving over $850,000 in one purchasing area alone. It can translate to the smallest counties as well and save you lots of dollars. I urge you to do that. We are extremely excited to be in our new building. Your building, we moved in April. We were able to renovate the building, preserve its historic character. It is a registered historic landmark that you own now. There on Main Street in Richmond. We also designed it with energy efficiency in mind. We think in the next week or so we are going to be LEED certified at the silver level, which is an outstanding accomplishment when you're doing a historical preservation as well. So, because the historians don't like you to do a lot of changes internally or externally to the thing, so we had to really work around it. But so you have an energy efficient model, and as you saw in the exhibit hall, we have a vegetated green roof. So that just shows you that you can do the same in your communities on any buildings that you have to construct, that you can take, make both good operating and energy efficient as well. So come visit your building frequently, please. Moving to the future, if you will, stay involved. A great turnout, I think, this year at our conference. Now it's up to you to continue to be involved. In your packet, you will recall there were a number of clipped together. Get involved in your committees, your steering committees. Folks, you know, we say this every year, and every March or April say, well, I didn't know I had to turn a new one in. Turn your committee interest in forms to us. You got to fill one out every year. This is no exception. Fill one out, show us where you want to serve, and we'll be appointing committees in the next few weeks. And of course, we have the County Supervisors Forum, January 8th through the 10th. Certainly for the newly elected ones, but any veterans who want to come and get a refresher course, I think it's valuable. VACo VML Legislative Day, it's not too early to sign up for that on February the 11th. The forms are in your packet. And the Chairman's Institute, which is also February 11th through the 13th. We urge you to take advantage of these educational opportunities. Mr. President, I think that concludes my report as Executive Director.
Thank you, Jim. All right, next on our list, committee reports, Mr. Wayne Jesse. Credentials. Mr. Jesse.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm pleased to report that 95 counties have paid their dues and are eligible to vote this year. The credential committees met yesterday afternoon and determined that 83 counties are properly credentialed to cast 148 votes out of a possible 162 votes in today's meeting. On behalf of the credential committee, which includes Ms. Linda Smith from Fairfax County, Mr. Jack McCready from Washington County, we appreciate the opportunity to serve. Respectfully submitted, Wayne Jesse, Middlesex County Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Resolutions Committee, Bob. Mr. Bob Atkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am Bob Atkins. I am what you would call a want-to-be president-elect. It's been a great honor for me to be your first vice president and serve as chairman of the Resolutions Committee. This has been a great privilege, and it's been great for me to oversee the development of the legislative program. This morning, we are called on to adopt the 2010 legislative document. Mr. President, I will move for the adoption of this program upon the conclusion of my remarks. Before we begin, if you have not received the literature, if you haven't received the amendment, and if you haven't received, please hold that up, Barbara.
This is the amendment.
The amendments and the legislative document that we're going to vote on. If you do not have that, we have staff ready to hand them out to you right now. We'll pause just a minute, and you can get those in your hands. We will be working from those two documents this morning, and you can follow along with me, and we will talk about the plan for the legislative document. All right, we'll move right along then. You should have two documents, the 2010 legislative program and the amendments program. These were proposed and adopted by the respective committees yesterday. And by way of background, the program highlights our annual legislative priorities. The adoption of these priorities are sent to the governor and to members of the General Assembly. Before moving for the adoption of the program, allow me to briefly highlight the handful of these key document statements. I'm working from the document legislative program. Please turn to page 4, line 129. The administration of government once again advances an aggressive statement in opposition to unfunded mandates. Page 5 in the same, Community Development and Planning Committee addresses the perennial issues of growth management. For details, see the statement regarding cost of growth on line 173. And the separate statement regarding land use / growth management tools on line 185. On page 6, line 217, the Education Steering Committee updates its funding statement.